This guy is, dude, where do you find these humans is what I want to know. Where do you find these humans? He looks like he has a mental illness. Look at his face. Is he frown? Is he crying? Is he crying? Is he crying right now? Guys, he's literally standing outside a physical manifestation of objective impressiveness, a gold skyscraper, holding a sign with the guy's face who owns the gold skyscraper that says loser. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg, right? Because you find destroyed leftists embarrassing themselves all over the internet constantly. Look at all these people. Literally, all of these people are poor. All these people are old. They haven't accomplished anything. No one knows who they are. The dichotomy you find between leftists insulting the most impressive people in the world while they themselves are losers is not found anywhere else in the world. It is distinctly, obviously, extremely narcissistic to be demonstrably a loser, have no accomplishments whatsoever, and not only slander men that are visibly more impressive than you by echelons and echelons. And it is the leftist ideology that allows for this incredible narcissism. I have an example here to show you, a perfect example. Literally leftist losers sitting outside a gleaming gold skyscraper that Trump owns with his name plastered all over, a massive American flag, and they're holding signs. Just let me show you. Let's take a look at this. All of these people, net worths probably less than $5 million, outside a skyscraper that costs billions, owned by the man they are in their broken, fragmented psyche think is somehow going away, or he's going bankrupt because their corrupt leftist attorney decided to go complete full political persecution mode, and of course just exposed New York as the communist hellhole that it is. Now no one wants to do business in New York. I can guarantee that judgment cost New York way more in business than they actually got from Trump. But since when have leftists been good at math? Just take a look at these signs. This guy is, dude, where do you find these humans is what I want to know. Where do you find these humans? He looks like he has a mental illness. Look at his face. Is he frown? Is he crying? Is he crying? Is he crying right now? Guys, he's literally standing outside a physical manifestation of objective impressiveness, a gold skyscraper, holding a sign with the guy's face who owns the gold skyscraper that says loser. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg, right? Because you find destroyed leftists embarrassing themselves all over the internet constantly. But again, what I'm emphasizing to you is this is uniquely leftist. What I'm going to show you next is the same thing, but in another domain, targeted at a different person that I think you might know. Look at all these people. Literally, all of these people are poor. All these people are old. They haven't accomplished anything. No one knows who they are. Insulting a billionaire who lives in a palace with a supermodel wife, adored by hundreds of millions, actually billions of people. This is New York manifesting its mental illness, because the ideology of Marx requires ultimate narcissism. The reason for that is because it says there is no such thing as objective morality. You can determine what truth is, and virtue itself is to be doled out as a result of your adherence to our ideology. To believe that, you have to be an ultimate narcissist. You have to be completely mentally destroyed. And a lot of people, I would say most people, don't understand that leftists are this mentally destroyed. Right now, they are the most insane, unhinged, detached group of people that reality has to offer. You see manifestations of it here, but there's some sort of expectation or ethos that goes something like, well, they are just being silly, or we can excuse them for not making sense because they're on the right team. First of all, they're not being silly. These people are destroyed enough to think that the billionaire president Donald Trump who lives in a palace is a loser. And they are winners. They who have accomplished nothing. They who are not known by anyone and have no accomplishments. That level of delusion, that level of narcissism, if you were to measure it on a scale, is a direct measurement of left-wing detachment from reality, because it is according to the left that these people think that they matter or think that they're good people. Again, distinctly leftist, due to the postmodern insistence that there is no such thing as right and wrong. There's no such thing as, well, that's moral relativism, but that's conjoined with postmodernism and taken a step further. As they say, there's no better and worse ways of interpreting reality. That's a little bit different because it's more like saying there's no better and worse narratives. There's no better and worse stories you can tell about yourself. Obviously, this is invalid, but this is also why we see them, quick shout out to some of my previous videos, this is why we see them creating incredibly uncompelling, degenerate movies filled with leftist propaganda that no one finds interesting. And then when they say, oh, why isn't anyone watching our movies? All this bigotry, this discrimination. They can't understand why people find some narratives better than others, because again, they have this fundamental misunderstanding about reality. In fact, they resent reality for being objective, for having true parameters, because those true parameters judge them for their delusion and for their wrongness. This next example is very similar, but it's directed at a different person. So here we have a degenerate, worthless woman, an anon account, but we know it's a woman because it's so emotional, because it's detached from reality. And if this is a guy, I mean, it's like a 1 in a million type situation where he's had an absolutely, like he's been bullied his entire life. But anyway, we know this is a woman, and the tweet is, I'm not going to read it, but you can see it here. Insulting literally one of the most physically impressive men on the planet, lamenting how he is teaching younger men to be impressive, and at the same time, she is a complete loser, a complete nobody. This is what I want to highlight. People with no accomplishments, people who are nobodies, people who are utter losers in every category and metric of human achievement that you can measure, feel that under the left-wing ideology, they are justified to say the most impressive people on the planet are losers in comparison to him. You saw it here. You saw it here, right? Billionaire literally standing outside of his golden skyscraper. You see it here, degenerate woman, anon account, no accomplishments, old, childless, lamenting how one of the most impressive men on the planet is teaching young men how to fight. And this is because in the left-wing ideology, they are told they are good people as a result of adhering to their ideology, not as a result of garnering true virtue by being a good person and adhering to objective parameters of virtue, like being a good person, doing good things. No, no, no. You don't have to do any of that if you're on the left. You just have to agree that men can get pregnant. You just have to blindly agree to throw out all the mechanisms of objective inquiry, like logic and reason and rationality, because those things are an existential threat. And when applied to any domain, as we see constantly, they just call those things oppressive. You're using logic against me? Oh my gosh, oppression! The left-wing ideology creates people that are fundamentally disconnected from reality. Now, I'm going to show you the fuller video that this clip came from, so you can really understand who this woman is saying is like attacking. She's attacking his physical appearance. She's obviously using the slander that a bunch of unthinking people are. It's really interesting to see this progression of complete divorce from reality, these two camps of people that are living completely in a delusional world. Oh my gosh, Andrew Tate is still guilty of this thing that we know girls came out and said was made up. And then people that actually are living in reality. But that's not going to stop me from essentially going to the zoo and showing you these animals. So check out this full video that clip came from. Look at this.
Who's down for a swim? Chair Tristan.
Here, I'm going to turn off the volume just so you can purely focus on the visuals, okay? Who cares really what they're saying? The point is that the visuals are them working out. They are exercising together. They're bettering themselves. They're improving. And also, you can visibly see that 99.9% of the population is literally in worse shape than these people. And yet all the people that attack them are just like those people standing out the golden skyscraper with Trump's name on it. They're on the left, they're losers, they have no accomplishments, and the radical left is telling them that they're good people as a result of adhering to their ideology and need not seek out true merit, true virtue. As a matter of fact, merit's demonized because they're communist, right? They are anti-capitalist. Capitalism is just another objective system derived from reality itself that judges them. So of course they denounce meritocracy, but they can't stand objective virtue, objective merit. And so what they say instead is, I'm a good person as a result of being a part of this ideology, and you can measure this delusion by watching them attack and slander men that are in the 0.1% of any domain, whether that be physically, and it's not an accident. That's the next part I want you to understand. And I'll probably conclude the video with this, which is It's not random. They literally choose the most impressive men in any domain, whether that be physical manifestations in the real world, like a golden skyscraper, or Andrew Tate's physical appearance. They choose the pinnacle that judges them absolutely, because in comparison to this ideal, they are rendered pathetic in every domain, which of course invalidates the left-wing ideology subtly, because it says you actually aren't perfect as a result of adhering to their ideology. Because look, someone is surpassed you so brutally, so observably. And so also what they have to do is they say, you're a bad person if you embody how I'm a loser. What you have is a congregating club of losers. I mentioned this in a video I uploaded 3-4 days ago. Actually, I think it was in a short that got censored by YouTube. Made a video on that too. But the left is essentially a club of losers, technically speaking, because the left is literally a club of people who deny reality. And if you deny reality, you are delusional, but you're also a loser, because you can't succeed, you can't thrive, you can't become better than you are if you deny the objective parameters of reality. Because the way you physically improve, mentally improve in business, improve in relationships, is by acknowledging objective aspects to reality. It's like you look at the world, you realize that it's comprehensible, and you say, this is a better way to act than this way to act. But that is antithetical to the way the left operates. Because again, in postmodernism, they say there's no better and worse ways of interpreting reality. You seeing why everyone on the left is a loser? It's not an accident. Remember these images. Here and here. The left technically breeds losers. Ultimately narcissistic people. Ultimately narcissistic losers. Which is a very bad combination. You don't want to be a narcissist and literally a loser. I mean, this is absolutely brutal. Oh gosh. Worth less than $10 million, standing outside of a billionaire's golden skyscraper with a sign with his face on it saying he's a loser. Doesn't get more brutal than that for you. But leftists revel in this because they're at war with reality and because they want to signal to people. It's like that crying face meme with the mask over it of, I'm fine, but really they're crying underneath. They want you to believe that they feel okay denying all of objective reality's aspects. But in reality, they go home and everything's broken because everything in their life is completely destroyed. And that's because they don't watch Abraham videos, subscribe to the channel.